Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to be taking a look at an Arduino with it's a neopixel with 7 individual LEDs on it. The reason that I want to kind of go over one of these, I'm not doing anything new, not really making anything too crazy. There's lots of people who have these out there and have done these things before, but I just wanted to kind of go over some of the code and talk about it, just because this is going to lead into a couple of projects I'm going to be doing. But first, I have a sketch here called Fade Color. Basically what it's doing is it's taking the neopixel. Now this one is set to 15. I only have 7, so I'll change it and re-upload it. It doesn't seem to do anything different because, as you saw, it was doing the fade just fine. But basically what it's doing is it's taking in and it's saying, okay, what color we want to set it to. So we're setting it to kind of a blue because it is an RGB status, so it's red, green, blue. So we got primarily blue with a little bit of green. We're shutting it down, and then we're setting up a pulse. And basically what it's doing is it's fading in the brightness from minimum to maximum. Then it's going the other direction and it's fading the brightness from maximum to minimum. And it's just cycling through this setup here. And then depending on how many LEDs you have, because again this was set to 15 but I have 7, you go through and you set the color for each pixel before going ahead and running through with it. But it works pretty well for that. But what I do have is another one where I have the same kind of code layout. This one actually will change colors. I'm gonna upload this real quick to my Arduino, and of course, because it opens a new window, we need to select COM4, and there we go. Now what this one is doing is it's doing the same concept of fading in and out, but it's also changing the colors. So everything is the same. I basically set it to red to begin with. And then what I do is I fade into red, and in order for the pulsing to not be that kind of craziness we saw earlier, what I do is I put in a 5 millisecond delay, which kind of gives it that nice, how would you call it? Kind of just that nice gradual fade out, fade in, fade out. And basically what ends up happening is it fades in red, so it does the same thing, goes from minimum brightness to maximum brightness. And during this time, it's just making sure that it sets the color to red. And what I actually had to do is I had to change this. So in the previous one, if we go back to previous code and we look at set color, we notice it has a, wait, was it set color? A set light brightness, I'm sorry. Set light brightness just had an integer, and it took in an integer value for the brightness, and it set the color to the blue. What I ended up doing is I modified this statement down here, or method I should say, and changed it so it also takes in a color value. And by taking in that color value, we're constantly setting it to red as we go to maximum brightness. We're constantly setting it to red when we're going from maximum to minimum. But then when we come to the next set, we're changing it to green. So then it can fade out, turns off, then it starts fading in as green, and then it fades out as green and then resets to red. The nice thing about controlling it this way allows us to get this really kind of neat changeover from red to green. And we could do any kind of mixture of colors. So just for fun, let's change this to, we're going to start out as red, so it might do something goofy, but we're going to do 255 in blue, or in green, excuse me, because this is RGB, 255, and we're going to upload this just to see what happens. Like I said, I don't know what color that is. I'd have to look. Oh, it looks like yellow? Yeah, yellow. So it goes to yellow, which is kind of neat. So you can play with this and change this any way you want to make that fade color into anything. The nice thing is, yes, I am using basically the neopixels and some examples off the internet, but I will put these up on a link that will be in the description below. So if you want to follow through with these, you can definitely do that. The next one that I've created is going to be a red-green LED changer. So if we go to red-green, we're going to upload. Gotta change the COM again. There we go. So it does a quick, checks it, sets it to white, and it's basically looping through the 3 colors, and it's flashing really fast because it's doing a what they call a theater chase setup. So when it first boots up, it goes through 3 colors, then it does white, then red, then green. If I decided to say, you know what, I don't want to do the white, I could remove it, upload it, and we're going to go to red and green and back and forth. So we can do kind of a rapid one, which is kind of neat because you've got all that set up so that it kind of does this rapid flashing. Like I said, it's a theater marquee style chasing. I did find the base code for this online and then modified it to change to the different colors that I wanted. But yeah, it works really well. This one is pretty straightforward again, and you just set how many LEDs you have, how much delay you want, and you just kind of go from there on this one. The last one that I have, I call it the red-green chaser. Set up in a very similar style. This one uses the theater chase as well, but it's color wipe before it. We'll upload this one. And as you can see, what it does is it does a red wipe, a green wipe, and then it goes to that cool color chasing setup. These are actually based off of, if you go into it and you've uploaded your library from NeoPixels, and I'll put a link in the description as well to that just in case. You can go in here and they actually have different setups. So there's like strand test, and strand test is the one that does the theater. It does the theater, it does the color wipe. So all I'm doing is modifying these, and I did take out the rainbow cycle. And if you want to I'll just put it in to change it. I'll do that real quick for fun, because the rainbow one's kind of neat. Hit switch. Yep. So now it's just going through different colors. Then it goes white, and then it goes red, then it goes blue, and then it does the rainbow effect, which is really, really cool. So there's all sorts of different things you can do with these NeoPixels, and I just kind of wanted to make some different real quick effects using NeoPixels, because what I want to do is I want to integrate these into something that's going to be kind of like potentially a Halloween / Christmas decoration. You could use it as either or depending on how you look at it, and that's going to be my next video. You're going to see that. I also want to integrate these into costumes for like cosplay and stuff of that nature. So I'm hoping to do a lot with those. So if you guys are interested in learning more about those projects and seeing them and getting a little bit more breakdown on the code for those, definitely remember to hit that like button and subscribe for this video, and subscribe to the channel to make sure that you get that information on the next couple of videos that'll come out. I'm hoping to get those up later this weekend, at least the one that has to do with kind of the Halloween decoration, and then the costume stuff in the next week as well. But until next time, stay nerdy.